What's going on, people? It's your man the YB back once again. Let's get this mic check. You best believe it. Is it on? Come on, people. Come on. What's going on, people? So I couldn't help myself but jump on the blower, the live leaked YouTube blower, to talk about here. Johnny got smoked by Dave Allen. Let me address. I did a video yesterday, saying, Dave Allen might quit. Dave Allen might have been paid by Hearns. Listen, man, that was some reverse psychology there. I didn't know what was going to go on. I'm not going to lie. Who here would have been shocked to know Dave quit on the stool / jump on the floor? I wouldn't have been shocked, man. Yeah? But if there's a chance Dave Allen saw the video and thought, you know what? Let me not jump on the floor and make an ass of myself, then it was worth doing it. That's what we want to see, Dave. Lock in, man. Lock in. I don't see no one at British level. What are they going to do, man? I think Dave, if Dave locks in and doesn't go up to 275 and doesn't get lost in the sauce, which is possible. That is possible. If he actually... Michelle was watching it and she said, he looks a bit like Canelo. And that's obviously you can laugh. Oh, Canelo. There's elements there. There's elements there of it. Very tight guard, slow feet, plodding on him. If he can just shorten up some of his shots, as well as what he's doing, his little step back, he's got a little bit of head move. He's like a big Canelo. That's the potential, obviously. I'm not saying he's going to be undisputed champion. I'm not saying he's going to be the next Canelo, but there is certainly a base there. Yeah? And Fisher, I mean, let's talk about the fight this quick. Fisher, man. People were saying in the corner, not in the corner, sorry, the comment, I've got Fisher up 4 rounds. Fisher was stinky, man. He can't punch. I don't know what the hype's been about, to be honest. Oh, the Babbage. Oh, we spot. Me and Michelle watched the video back today. I'm going to play it in a minute. We watched a video of Hearn saying, no one can hang with his power. That's what they said about Johnny Bash. Eddie came out saying, Moses Atalma, Fabio Wardley, no one can hang with him. After punching up 175 pounds soaking wet, Alan the Babbage, man. And even in that, Johnny's like, chin in the air, just thrashing. Okay. So, let's talk about the fight. That's what we're going to do right now. Fisher, I was actually surprised. And it's crazy, man. I got cucked. Let's talk about that as well whilst we're here. I got cucked on the gambling. I got cucked bad. I lost about 80 large. I lost it. But I'm happy for Dave. That's the thing. Yeah, I'm actually happy. Well, I'd rather would have made money. But to be honest, if I had a choice between making 80 quid and Johnny Fisher winning on points in a points robbery, I'd rather lose 80. A sacrificial lamb. The YB sacrificed himself. The YB said, I want Dave Allen to win so bad. Yeah, I'm going to bet. I didn't bet against him. I didn't bet on Johnny, but I bet on the fight going the distance and no knockdowns. So, I guess, listen, it could have gone the other way. Imagine if Johnny had knocked him down, and I'd have been real pissed off then. So I'm happy for Dave. My gambling curse, I'm not saying it was the only factor that enabled Dave to win, but that will come on now. When the boxing gods were working this out, they thought, wait there a minute. YB has bet on this fight going to points. YB has bet on this fight having no knockdowns. Bosh! No points. Bosh! A bunch of knockdowns. That's crazy, man. So I'm not going to lie. I'm taking my flowers. Yeah, this was a team effort. Yeah? This was a team effort, man. Proper team effort. Couldn't believe it in there. Johnny's got no... Come on, man. Let's go a spade. Johnny's got no chop. He can't box. He's a rugby player. That's what I saw in there. I saw a rugby player. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's trying to, Johnny Fisher to me looks like a man who watches boxing on TV and then tries to imitate that. Does that make sense? He's doing all this like he's slippery. It's almost like a knockoff. Imagine Tyson Fury who's really stiff. That's what it's like. It reminds me that he's trying to be... He's not understanding what he's doing. He's trying to be slick. He's imitating being slick. But he doesn't know why he's doing what he's doing. Do you get what I'm saying? There's no shots coming, he's doing this, and then when Dave's on him, he's like all over the place. He doesn't understand his base. He doesn't understand why he's doing things and or when he needs to do things. He's doing all this herky-jerkiness. Dave's on him, and his arms are in the air, and there's no defense. Yeah? Too many man think they're the second coming of Floyd Mayweather. That's how it looks to me. And Dave Allen, people like Dave Allen show you, stick your hands on your head. Super simple, but effective. Bit of head movement in there as well if you want. All this kind of lead arm. Johnny's like... stiff though, super stiff. It didn't even look good. It looks stiff. He's constantly backpedaling. Dave Allen said after the fight, he knew he was going to get to Johnny. And I'm not going to lie, I didn't have any... I had a tenner on Dave to start off with. I took it off yesterday when he weighed in Bolabus. But I ended up, after round 2, I ended up putting money. I put a $5 on Dave for points. So I got cooked bad, man. Because I saw Johnny didn't have nothing. They were saying he was winning the rounds, and he probably was, because Dave was so inactive. But it seems to be part of it was Dave's plan, which is a well-documented plan. It's what I like to do when I'm in there. You plod forward, let them take all their best shots, basically, on the gloves and arms. Burn all their primo energy out. And then at some point, unless they're a top-level fighter like Usyk, but most generic, average-level, British-level boxers, they'll get tired. And you feel the drop in their power. You see their legs start getting stiffer. The footwork isn't as slippery. And that's what you saw here. Fisher comes out for the first 2 or 3 rounds. Is more or less... I think Dave could have nicked one of the first 3, but it was close. But Fisher, you'd argue Fisher was winning after 3 or 4. And then all of a sudden, he starts sitting on the ropes a little bit longer. Less movement. And then his fish food. Yeah? And that's what we saw here. Fisher really, he is a product of the new age. Fair play to him. He did go out on his back, on his front, spark on his front, to be fair to him. I'm not saying he's a quitter. But in terms of having one loss and how it affects your mentality. In that first fight, he's letting his hands go and whatnot. I guess you can say, well, maybe his strategy was not to gas as much. But he looked a bit, he wasn't holding his feet at all. Dave wasn't doing much, and he was able, his presence was able, a lot like Canelo, he just follows you around, and you're the one running around, putting shots out. Well, I mean, Fisher caught him with a few shots, I think an uppercut here or there. Nothing really consistent enough to warrant all that movement. And I've been saying it for years, but there is an epidemic of lost inside fighting. These new age men are scared to death to be on the inside, and that's what you saw here with Johnny. Yeah, Johnny was scared to death, and you can say, well, YB Dave's... I don't think Dave's necessarily formidable on the inside himself. He kind of slaps his body shots in. I wouldn't say he's formidable on the inside. Dave likes you backing up so he can dip and wing the right hand in. He doesn't... Even on the inside, Dave wants to... He does this weird thing I'm going to talk about in a minute. He puts his left arm up. I said it in the last fight. Dave's got this weird thing here. He puts his left arm up round their neck. Now, it might be an old dog type trick, but a few times I thought, Dave, fair enough. Well, I've never seen no one do that before. So I don't know, maybe Dave's hacked the game. But he does this thing where he gets in range, and then rather than dinging the left hook, he kind of rests it on their shoulder and drags their head down. Now, that might make his argument might be, oh, it makes their opponent tired. Makes the opponent tired and you're old man in them kind of thing. But a few times Dave does that, and Johnny's work. In fact, I'll show you now. Since we're on the topic, I've got the clip here. I think. Let's have a look. I'll make it a bigger screen, for example. So here's an example. This is one of the few times the left hook was night. Anyway, here's one of the few times Allen throws the actual left hook and it boshes Fisher. Perfect. That was there all night though. But then watch the next exchange. Oh, this is going to be annoying. Sorry, people. I can't play the footage, but I can play the frames. Let's watch this next exchange now. Okay, here we go. So I believe Dave throws a jab. He gets into the ropes. Is that the jab? Where is it? Is that a jab? I don't know what that is. Was it a jab? Looks like a bit of a jab. He throws a jab there, maybe. It's like a half-committed jab. Come on, man. Here we go. Here we go. This is an example of it not working for Dave. So look, watch. Rather than hooking in the left hook, yeah, that should be a left hook all day. That's what that should be. Right here should be a left hook all day. Instead, he's talking to the referee. He puts his left arm Round Fisher. He was doing it all night as well. Bad habit. But you'll see what happens now. As Dave's looking over there, Fisher puts in a right hand. Not clean, but still a right hand. And I think he bings an uppercut in there as well. There we go. There's the uppercut. Yeah. So this thing, Dave, you got to fix that, bro. Seriously, a better fighter with higher IQ. You can't go in like a mummy and just rest on their thing. Just it's messy, man. And the left hook you just saw a minute ago, that landed. Get the left hook off, man. Put it right on his chops. Bosh. Here we go. Look, there was another shot from Fisher there. And who knows? I thought, oh, doing stupid things like that. Who knows? In another dimension, that might have clipped Dave, right? And he's on the floor, so in a big heap. And there's one more example of it I want to show. It's a bit annoying though, having to do the frame by frame, to be honest. It's taken all day. Okay, so Dave's got him to the ropes. Let's see what happens here. Let's go him to the ropes. Here we go. There's the jab. Nice jab from Dave. Jab. It should have been a left hook here all day. It should have been a left hook on the end of that, for sure. And then watch this here, watch. Here we go. Jab to the body, nice. Where's left hook, left hook, left hook, left hook. Oh, he's doing the hugging thing again. He's doing the arm round the shoulder. What is that arm round the shoulder, man? Jab, left hook on the end. And he's been doing that. I don't know whether it's possible that Fisher was doing a lot of clinching as well. You can see it here. Fisher's got, Fisher's, honestly, man, I think Fisher's a rugby player. I swear down to you right now. Fisher's a rugby player for me. He can't box. I'm just saying that. I've not seen nothing here that he can box. Even in his best fight with the Cabbage Babbage, he's thrashing around. I don't think he can box. Bunch of clinching, bunch of backpedaling. What would he do well? I think he got knocked out well. Fair play to him. He didn't punk out. He could have punked out. So that's the credit I give Fisher. Fisher's not going nowhere. And that's not. Listen, he's done better than me and he's made more money than me, but he's not going nowhere, man. Sorry. He's not going nowhere at all. I don't know what he's good at, because he used to be, I'm coming right on you. Now he's scared to do that. So now you got to believe he's the next Usyk, right? I never rated his power anyway. His feet are no good. He's not heavy-handed either. He's not heavy-handed. His IQ ain't there. His skills aren't there. I don't know. He's like I think white collar. He'd do well at white collar. That would be his thing, which makes sense for his base. Sell a lot of tickets. Fight plumbers, and Fisher will look decent in there with white collar, man. In real boxing, I mean, who's he beat? I can see even someone like Jamie TKV will just jab his head off too quick. We jab his head off, and Fisher will get. If Dave Allen's relatively slow. If he can catch you with a jab, you're getting. Someone like that will jab your head off all night. Bottom line. Let's now get to the stoppage as well. Oh, it sparked, man. Let's get to the stoppage now. Okay, here we go. Let's see what happens here. So Fisher throws a jab. Dave's got his chops down. I like Dave, man. I like Dave's style. And there's a press, like I said, Canelo, Caballero. In this day and age, yeah, where dudes are scared to death to actually get in a fight. That start, people talk about Adelele. Adelele don't want to fight. I'm sorry. He talks a big game. Oh, man, woo, woo, woo. He talks a big game. He's a punk, in my opinion. Fabio Wally stuck it on him. He didn't really want to fight. TKV, who can't punch like that. All he had is a jab. And he's standing there waiting. If Dave Allen comes in fit, I think Adelele probably can punch a bit. And Dave walking into it, but if Dave can get through a few rounds, yeah, Adelele's going to get tired. And I got Dave beating Adelele. A fit Dave Allen beats Adelele, bottom line. I don't really rate him. The only risk is it'll be there, but I think if you walk Adelele won't like going back. He won't. But he's quite twitchy. Adelele's quite twitchy, so that might be, he might catch Dave with something, but I've got Dave. A fit Dave coming to proper do someone some harm. I got him winning, beating Adelele for sure. And to be honest, I'm trying to think, even at the higher level, who else we got? No, I think Wardley's just a bit too young and a bit too fresh. But who knows? No, that right hand when he wings it in, man. I don't know, but listen, man, I think the ceiling for Dave is unknown. I wouldn't... Trying to think. Fraser Clark's got soft bones, man. You can't count that Fraser Clark win as such. Nathan Gorman. Do you know what I mean? That Miller fight would have been a good test. I think Miller's probably half a level above Jarrell Miller. Above Dave Allen at this point. I don't know, man. Let's get Dave Allen some wins and see what he can do if he can double down. Now, if it goes to his head, he looks like he might have turned a corner though, because I was saying, he might have gone to his head that first fight when he got a draw. Sorry, he got a loss, but he thought he won. So if he's turned a corner and he builds, but then again he put on 8 pounds and he said, well, you know, I put weight on because I know I was going to win. I'm thinking that's just the wrong attitude though, because we can all think. I could think I'm going to win with Mike Tyson, right? Being delusional as such doesn't necessarily help you. In this situation, did it work? Well, it worked. It works until it doesn't, right? Believing you're good enough not to train and or be in shape. It works, and it's funny until it ain't. Why take the risk for? What are you doing all day? That's the better question. What are you doing all day? What are you doing all day? Otherwise, that makes no sense. Be your best self. Let's see what you got. Now's the time at 33. You're not the oldest heavyweight, but now's the time. Lock in for the next 3 years, and at least you'll know then. Hey man, this is where I got to. Rather than coulda, woulda, shoulda. Well, I never reached my potential, because there's something there for sure. Anyway, I'm trying to show you the final exchange. Okay, there's a jab there from Fisher. Dave bops him with his own jab. Come on, man. There's another jab there from Fisher. Fisher's got the moody guard. There's a right hand there from Fisher. I think Dave he leans and puts a left hook into the body. And then I think a left uppercut to the head. Did that hit him? Was it caught? Oh, no, it did. You can see is that Dave's glove? I'm not sure. Maybe it wasn't clean, actually. Oh, wow. I think Dave hit the guard and he's on stilts. He reminds me of like imagine AJ. He's like AJ, but levels below. It's that kind of thing. Once you hit him, it's clear you've hit him. You know what I mean? There's no... I don't know what... Are they putting something in the water? I don't know. That's how it looked to me these times. These men can't take no shots. They just can't. Do you know what I mean? These hype job man, all of them are the same. They have one half decent fight as such, which you'd argue is Fisher versus Allen 1. And then it's finished them. Their psychology's gone, their chin's finished. Isn't it? It's like one... You snap it once and it's broken forever. It's crazy. I just don't remember. Historically, I don't remember that being the case. Where they get popped once and they're just finished. At this level as well. Oh, come on, man. I can't do this clicking the frames thing. It's very annoying. Here's Dave's signature shot. He rings in the overhand. Bosh, heavy shot that is. When you've got a 265 pound man, even though Fisher's got his hands up here, but Dave almost got round the side of his head. It doesn't matter if you've got your hands up, to be fair. Them shots will... The weight of it. Dave's proper winging it from the floor as well. Them shots you'll feel... It'll go through you. It'll go through your glove. Oh, there's the left uppercut as well. Dave puts it right in here. Bosh. Boshed him right on his chops. Does he go down at this point? I think Dave puts a right uppercut in there as well. No, he's going for the... Yeah, Fisher's on stilts right now. There's another overhand to the back of the head. He's over. And then when he went down, I was like, no, no. Obviously, my bet's been cucked. And then he gets back up, and I was like, please, bro, just make it to the end, man. Make it to the end, bro. But he ain't got no. Listen, he came to fight. To be fair to him, look, he wants to fight. So that was the best thing he did all night. The best thing he did all night was, which is something a lot of men don't have. To be fair, he did want to carry on fighting, and he went out on his back. So I do salute him for that. Rome salutes you, for Johnny Fisher. You're a rugby. Listen, man. The truth is, you're a rugby player. Yeah, rugby, man. Rugby and university. That's what I see here. I see a dude who can play rugby and write university essays. That would be OIB. Define Johnny Fisher's boxing repertoire. I'd tell you essay writing, and rugby. I'm not even. Oh, you're always joking. You're always playing, but no, seriously. There's no boxing there. There's not. Again, put him in there with white collar man. He'll do well. That's probably where he's supposed to be. Any serious, but Eddie Hearn. Oh yeah, we're coming for them all. He said. He's not coming for no one, man. He can't box. Sorry, he can't box. I'm not saying I can, but he can't. Does that make sense? Assume I can't box either, but he can't. Is the point? Oh, you can't do it. I know I can't. He definitely can't either, though, for sure. So Fisher's, Fisher probably should have just. Oh, he's throwing his hands to the bitter end, so I can't knock him for that. But he should have obviously been just clinging on at this point. I'm not even sure. Does the shot land? It's like a cuffing right. He's on stilts, man. His legs are stiff. There's another left hook there. There's the finishing shot. There's a body shot there. Dave's just teeing off at this point. Doubled over. There's the uppercut. Where does it go? I'm not even really sure what's going on. Oof, that was it. The left hook. Clean. That was one of the first times I saw Dave throw the left hook to the head as well, to be honest. He's got a nice left hook. And I wish, like I showed you earlier, I wish he'd put the left hook in more to the head. Rather than resting his arm on their neck, / shoulder. Put it in. Bosh, that proper twisted his dome up, man. Look. Twist his shit up. Reset button. Hadouken! He was never making that. That was a clean. Too clean. Plastered on the floor, man. Dave puts another one in for good measure as well. That's crazy. That's tragic. Yeah, the towel. Mark Tibbs threw the towel in for good measure. But there was no amount of towel opening him at this point. He spark out a bit late, you know what I mean? Mark Tibbs. Oh, Mark Tibbs, I mean, what's he been doing? I think it's probably a function of the new age, man. There's been a few fighters now. They're just all hype jobs. One way or another. I'm not saying Johnny's a punk. He did come to fight. So, well, he ran around and then, I don't know. I don't know what to say, man. I didn't see nothing special there, to be fair. This was more about how good Dave Allen was going to be. Because we've seen him stink the place out before. We've seen him lose to proper plumbers that he shouldn't really be losing to. Anyway, there's the knockout, and I want to get to Dave Allen's post-fight interview as well. But let's just run just quickly for my sake. First 4 rounds, I'll probably give Dave 1. Although I wasn't impressed with Fisher. It was like I had to give him them because he was doing a little bit of something. And obviously round 5 it was over. I don't know what happened, man. Dave said he planned it all along. Hopefully he did. I'm just going to get to my notes as well. So I did write a few notes down still. Where are the notes at, man? Here we go. Low blows. That's another topic I want to touch on quickly. The low blow situation. This is another, in my opinion, error from Dave Allen. A few times he's talking to the referee and fighting about low blows. At the wrong, you know what I mean? Like, just fight, bro. I get you getting. If you get low blowed, say that at a time which is appropriate. i.e. at the end of the round, get your team to do it. Risky, man. Looking over there, you gotta be in the fight, man. Too much looking at the referee. Too much worrying about body shots or low blows. I get it, they're annoying. You have to make your voice heard at some point. It's just risky. Fisher as well. I mean, low blows. I've never been a fan of moaning about low blows, to be fair. Unless they're proper low and it's proper obvious, like the Usyk situation. I didn't like him moaning about that. It's on the belt line, man. It's okay. You're not going to die. It's not actually in your... Unless Usyk's nuts are in his belly button. Oh, IB, the rules say the navel. I can give a fuck what the rules say, man. I've seen Muay Thai fighters. No moody nappy on. And they're kneading their bladder. So don't tell me about no navel rubbish. Yeah? I don't care about the rules. Okay? So if fighting but the best thing to do is, in my opinion, this is the old school way of doing it. If you feel like you're getting low blowed, and the referee was always going to be on Fisher's side. So what you do is, if you feel like you're being low blowed, you put one in back, and then then it's going to make the referee look like a hypocrite. Then he'll have to get on top of it, right? That's what you do, in my opinion. It's not worth the risk of talking to the referee and getting clipped. But that's one little point there I picked up on with Dave. I think he was doing that in the first fight as well. Holding from Fisher again. it's like they're scared to hold their feet. It's faffing around, back step in, faffing around, clinch. Not, I can't think of many fighters. Even AJ's the same. AJ's not he's not super comfortable. These men are desperate to cling on to someone. They're not comfortable just sitting there. I can't think of a fighter who is. Who do you know these days? Yeah, who's comfortable to just sit right there in the pocket and have a look. They're all gagging to cling on. That's a lost art. That's the truth. I'm trying to. Who do you know? Don't want to cling on to someone. I can't even think of one example. Maybe Caballero. That's where I'd lean to. Caballero he's happy to work. But outside of him, everyone else, when you get on top of them, they want to cling on to you. Bottom line. And Fisher's the same. And I think that actually creates, when you're training, Okoli, look at him. When you're training and all you want to do... If when you're training all you learn to do is clinch, it puts you in a vulnerable position. Puts you in panic. Because if you can't clinch, like how many times have you seen AJ trying to clinch Ruiz and he's like this and he's wide open? It's panic central. I'd rather learn how to be right here and confident. But they don't. These new age trainers don't seem to want to. They want to just teach you to. I think probably it's a function of Klitschko and Lennox Lewis. Oh, just grab onto them. It's gay, man. Seriously, the clinch needs to be outlawed. It's rubbish. It's not helping no one at all. Absolutely rubbish. The clinch, no good. Rubbish. To be honest, Fisher would have been out of there in 2 rounds without the clinch. Dave was getting on him, and it actually makes, in an era where there's loads of stinker fights, it actually helps the stinkers. The whole clinch gate situation. It enables people to stink the place out because they back foot, land a few shots, the pressure fighter comes in, and then clinch. So it enables people to stink the place out even more. Like I said, this fight would have been over in 2 rounds without no clinching from Fisher. And we've seen it time and time again. Someone's stinky, and then they clinch, and the pressure fighter physically can't do nothing. And they say, that's the rules, and it's gay, man. Do wrestling, right? Just do that. It's not boxing, man. Boxing is your feet and your hands. Move forward, move back, move sideways, move your head. It's not clinging onto someone. That's wrestling. That's homoerotic, man. So all I saw from Fisher was a bunch of back game. I think he was scared to really engage until it was too late. Eddie Hearn said he didn't really get Dave Allen's respect, and I think that's probably fair to say. But it just looked new age to me. It looked like AJ versus Ruiz too. I did say that before the fight. Not exactly, obviously, because AJ won that fight, but the equivalent of which. AJ versus Ruiz too. AJ's just choking in there. But Fisher's not on AJ's level, right? But it's the same mentality. Didn't really want to engage at this level. Dave's solid, but come on, bro. You went and got sparked anyway, man. And the rounds you were winning was stinky. It was stinky, I'm not gonna lie, man. Anyway, what else we got? I got no chin, no legs, no chin. That's just what it is, man. Come on. That first exchange that put him down, the shots weren't even that clean, really. They weren't even that clean. And we should have known that from the first fight, really. The minute these dudes, they get built up here, and the minute they get hit with something, it's over. It's like they're all orchestrated. That's how it feels. It's a big cabal orchestration going on. Psychologically shot. Ring was small. Dave was humble as well when the fight ended. Fair play to Dave. He told his team to keep it calm. He didn't want to celebrate because Johnny was on the oxygen, gasping for air. But listen, man, fair play to Johnny, man. That was the best. That was the highlight for him. His best performance was getting knocked out. That's where I'd give him credit, if that makes sense. If I had to pick one asset from one skill that Fisher did well, I'd say you got knocked out well. You got sent to your maker honourably. You didn't punk out. You didn't do a Billy Joe. Oh. You took your licks, man. So that was 10 out of 10 for Fisher, but the rest of it was trash. The rest of it was like a rugby player trying to be a boxer. If you told me, hey, this guy's a rugby player and he's going to do some boxing, like Misfits. That's how it reminded me. It was Johnny Fisher's Misfits-esque. I'm going to be honest. Misfits-esque. Doesn't really know what he's doing in there, is the truth. You can say, well, YB, why didn't you put £10 million on Dave Allen? I didn't know how Dave Allen was going to turn up. But unfortunately for us, we're not there. Who knows? And Dave himself said after the fight, he said, you know what, in round 4, I was starting to feel the pace. But, obviously, you know what I mean? That's the point I was making before the fight. He's trained for 4 rounds. He's got, you know what I mean? If Fisher comes in a little bit better, who knows what happens? And I think I was surprised that ring was so small, to be honest. I think Mandinga owner, Eddie Calvin Candy Hearns, I think he thought, F it, man, I want to see a proper fight tonight. Because that ring it looked 18 foot to me, with two big heavyweights in it. It looked very small. Fisher didn't really have nowhere to move. There wasn't a bunch of optionality. It was basically like a step or two back and you're at the ropes. There wasn't loads of options. When you look at the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight, that ring was 40 foot square. Yeah? 40 foot massive ring. Fake the cake, dinner lady, bingo rings, Paul. Punk looking ass dude. What's next? Waiting a bit. That was the other thing with Dave. Dave, he'd heard, technically speaking, he'd heard Fisher to the ropes, yeah. And then at the ropes, me and Michelle will be going, go on, have a go now. They go on, Dave. And Dave's been known to do this, and there is an element of Canelo about it. Canelo will do this sometimes, but to be fair to Canelo, he'll plod. But if he gets a sitting target on the ropes, I very rarely see Canelo let it go, to be honest. Yeah, Canelo struggles if you don't sit on the ropes, but plenty of times you can see it, even early in the fight. Dave gets him to the ropes and then does nothing. Yeah, now at this point in time you can say, well, why be it worked out because Fisher got tired. That's good, but you don't want to give away. Arguably, he could have lost the first 4 rounds. Looking forward, you can't afford to give 40% of the fight away and the first 4 rounds. That makes it hard then. You've got to win every round for the next 6. You can't afford to keep doing that. And at this level, with Fisher, a rugby player, yeah, a university rugby player, you got away with it. But Dave did the hard work. He gets him there. And Dave was obviously anticipating something coming back. And I think this is possibly a function of his weight. We saw it with Bacoli. Bacoli's double jab. It was like, whoom, whoom. Too slow to get to the target. So when you're heavy, what Canelo does at the ropes, he gets you there, double jab, dip and bang something. Double jab, dip to the right, bang the right hand over. Or right hook. Double jab, dip, left hook. Yeah? That's what was missing here from Dave. And if your feet are slow, even slower because you're heavier, you'll feel like you're going to get countered. And it could also be partly confidence. But letting being able to double jab and explode and whack something off the ropes, that's really, along with the left hook situation I've explained, if Dave can do that consistently, stand here, he's got a bit of head movement, he knows how to pull back, and get a double jab going and put something heavy on the end, that's Canelo's the peak of his career. That's all he did. He stands there, bit of head movement, plods forward, pulls back sometimes, and then double jab and explode with a big shot, and then reset, and just keep more or less rinse and repeat. There's the blueprint, man. Oh, AB, it's not that simple, is it not? Why can't you double jab when you got someone on the ropes? Fisher was slapping around the place. Get the double jab going, man. Double jab, bosh. That's what I'd say was missing from his performance. And if he can get that going, or even a single jab and a big shot, if anything would do, but double it, slap, bosh. Get that going, man. And this can take Dave to, again, I wouldn't necessarily back him. I wouldn't necessarily back against him. If he can continue to improve, I wouldn't necessarily back against him against Wardley. Wardley's more explosive punch for punch, but we'll see how... We saw Fraser Clark can't punch. Sorry. Fraser Clark can't punch. And we saw how... Wardley was knackered. Wardley couldn't get Clark out there in the first fight, and he was hanging, right? And that's Fraser soft bones. We don't know how good his chin is, right? He might be chinny. Oops. If Dave ain't chinny, and he can make it the first 4 rounds, put that pressure on, Wardley's going to be whacking him, right? If Dave can soak it up, Wardley's going to be hanging. His leg is going to have all that explosiveness going to be gone. And you saw Fraser Clark can't fight on the inside. Wardley was on the ropes, goosed, and Fraser Clark's just hanging on, and he can't fight on the inside. If you know what I mean? If Dave can weather the first 4 rounds, I got Dave beating Wardley as well whilst we're at it. If he's in shape, if he's proper on it. Now, this is the thing with he doesn't know, do you? What is he going to do? Is he going to be proper on it, or is he going to, well, I knew I could beat him. So I knew I didn't need to be in. That's what he said today. Oh, I knew I could beat Fisher. So I knew I wasn't really bothered about being in shape. I'm thinking. And everyone's now jumping, oh, YB, you were wrong. Woo, woo, woo. Well, not really. He got away with this one. The mentality of it, why would you not want to be your best self? Do you know what I'm saying? It's dangerous when you're looking further ahead. Now, maybe someone like Fabio Wardley's above. Dave wants to be British level. Wardley's surpassed that now. So maybe I'm jumping the gun here. But who else have we got? We've got, I think, the best fight. There's 2 options here for me. Possibly even 3, to be honest. 3 options for Dave. Either next. Should he have another warm-up? Well, Fisher wasn't a warm-up. The trilogies... Fisher has a trilogy option on the contract. He won't take it. Would I like to see it? I wouldn't mind seeing him get knocked out again, to be honest. But I think that won't be good for Dave. Because Dave, after knocking someone out, he will... If, for example, Fisher did initiate the rematch contract, which he might do, it will be his prerogative. Massa Hearns, he can't stop him, I don't believe. So he might, as a man, say, you know what, I want to run it again, which will be his decision to make. But if that does happen, that might be a bad sign. Yeah, because Dave got a draw in a pretty close fight. Sorry, Dave got a loss in a pretty close fight and said, well, I know I could beat him. Now he's knocked Fisher out. He might just think, okay, that's Dave's mentality. Hopefully not. Hopefully we're wrong again. And Dave really does double down. So to some extent, I don't think we want Dave in no more gimme fights or fights he knows he can win. Because that might put him back a step. He might think, oh, I know I can win this guy. And that's normally when he looks bad. When he fights dudes and he knows he can win or he's the better fighter, he comes in, he looks really bad and he makes a meal of it and it kills the hype. It's probably better to keep him on a roll as such in fights where he'll have to wonder about himself. And the fights that come to mind for me are Joe Joyce. Again, Joe Joyce is a sucker for a right hand man. And that's Dave Allen's meal ticket. I do think he needs to shorten it up though. But even then again, Joe Joyce is a sucker for an overhand. He's a sucker for an overhand. If you could dip it to him, you don't see it coming. Joe Joyce has a magnet for overhand rights, and that's Dave's money shot. And Joe Joyce is, I mean, if you think Dave Allen's slow, wait till you see Joe Joyce. Wait till you see Joe Joyce, man. If you think Dave Allen is slow, wait till you see Joe Joyce. And I think punch for punch, Allen hits harder than Hrgovic. Hrgovic can't punch, man. Sorry. Who's he knocked out? I think Hrgovic would go points with Fisher, probably. He can't punch at all. He's all hype. Hrgovic is. He can't punch. If he could punch, Joyce would have been spark code. That's the truth. He can't punch at all. Not one bit. So you get Joe Joyce in there, and, I mean, Joe Joyce is so slow now. His shots don't have the same whap on it. That'll be an exciting fight as well. It'll be good money for Joe Joyce. He deserves it. It's a winnable fight for Dave, but not a fight where he thinks he's going to walk through Joe Joyce. So he'll have to be ready. And it'll be a fight for one of the rare times that Dave Allen is quicker, right? So that could bring the best out of Dave, and it'll be super exciting because both men come forward. That's a fight I'd like to watch, to be honest. That's probably the fight that makes the most sense. Outside of that, and that was... Joyce's fought when he fought back in March. He's more or less ready to go. I don't think this was an easy fight for Dave. He would have took more damage in sparring. Bottom line, I don't want to see Dave. Me personally, obviously, he's his own man. He'll decide what he wants to do. Dave needs to get straight back into camp, man. Seriously, at this point in time, a week off tops would be my advice. Tops. Usyk in the gym on Sunday after an undisputed fight, man. Swimming. That's what he doing. Okay. And he'd been in camp for 9 months. For that Fury fight, he fought Fury twice. He ain't been home. He ain't seen his daughter born or something like that. 9 months he ain't been home. So Dave Allen at 33, after decades of playing Football Manager, he have a week off. Tops. I'd have him back in the gym on Monday, for what it's worth, to tell the truth. But a week off tops. And there's no reason. Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren are now thankfully working together. You do Joyce versus... Allen. When are you thinking? Yeah, whenever. Joyce versus Allen next. Yeah? Straight back into camp. Week off, straight back into camp. Keep the ball rolling. That's the fight I think makes the most sense. Other options are obviously Dillian White, but he's fighting in June, which isn't a mile away. It's a month away or whatever, or 3 weeks away. That's not 10 million years away, so... Is Dillian White going to want to fight Dave Allen again? I think Dillian White would probably prefer to fight Chisora. I think that's what they're waiting for. Chisora will probably fight Dillian White again. So that takes... But either one of them two, to be fair. If Dave Allen could get a Chisora fight, that would be exciting. But I think the Joe Joyce fight is the best one. Joe Joyce is in no man's land now. Yeah, no man's land at all. He's got no opportunities as such. Chisora, he's more or less in there. He can get a Dillian White fight. But yeah, essentially, I think Chisora fight one might be tough for Dave Allen. That would be a good one. But any one of them three: Joyce, Dillian White, or Chisora. That's what I'd like to see next. We know the British title, Jamie TKV versus Adelele. That's going to be at some point in time. So that's tied up. Forget about that. Eddie Hearn said, we want to see him go back to Rotherham or something like that, Sheffield, and do a fight there. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not sure it's going to motivate him to get up and get fit. Honestly, you don't need to. You've just beat Johnny Fisher, who at the time was calling out Fabio Wardley, for example, and Moses Atalma, for example. You don't need to go back. Dave spent his career fighting in Rotherham and Sheffield. Yeah? This is big money time. And the thing is, even if Dave Allen lost to Joe Joyce, that Fisher rematch clause is still there. Meaning that Dave's got a lick here. He fights Joe Joyce, win or lose, the Fisher payday's there. So you're looking at, he'll get $500,000, I'd assume, or more for Joe Joyce, plus another $500,000 for the Fisher rematch. You're looking at $1 million. Or, I don't know, maybe Eddie Hearn's got a plan where he's going to pay him $300,000 to fight Stiffs, and obviously economically that makes sense, but you've had the career fighting Stiffs now. That Joe Joyce fight is winnable. And it will be exciting for the fans, and I think you sell out. What do you think you sell out with that fight? I don't know, I think Joe Joyce is commercially a bit washed up. I'm not sure how many tickets he sells. I'm not sure how much Joe Joyce versus Hrgovic sells, but Frank Warren would know. But Joe Joyce versus Allen, man, that's exciting. A proper, on paper, 50-50. And I'd love Joe Joyce to be the favourite on that, because I'm getting some action on Dave Allen, man. But Joe Joyce does have a good engine. That's the only thing. He's slow as molasses, but he does have a good engine. And Dave would need to be properly ready for that. Will he be? Would he not be? Who knows, right? Who knows? Anyway, let's now get to some laughs, some shits and gigs quick. I've got some laughs to show you, man, quickly before we get out of here. Where are we? And let's get this on here. Oh man, this is classic. We're gonna watch the Fisher versus Alan the Cabbage. Sorry, yeah, it's Alan the Cabbage Babbage. This is hilarious. Watch this post-fight interview. Eddie Hearn. Where is it? Proper funny this is, man. Trust me, you wouldn't believe it. There's Eggy.
Ceiling to my journey. But when you talk about the gap, you talk about domestic heavyweights in Britain right now, you talk about Sol Dakers and David Adelaide, Fabio Wardley was ringside tonight, Fraser Clark. Is this a gap that continues to close fight by fight?
First of all, I'm a sportsman and I have respect for everyone else who gets in the ring, including Alan Babbage tonight. But I believe you put me in with anyone on the planet, I've got a puncher's chance of beating anyone. Put me in with anyone you want.
Well, let's bring in promoter Eddie Hearn, the man who makes those decisions. Eddie, first of all, your verdict watching that from ringside, it was over in a heartbeat. What a way to win it for Johnny.
Do you know, I really expected him to do the job tonight and do it early. But I've said before after Las Vegas, this ain't a gimmick. This is a world-class heavyweight prospect. 12 fights, 12 wins, 11 knockouts. He's for real. He started as a 6-round ticket seller. You're talking about a young man that had 2 amateur fights. I think a couple of them were in the university. Might not even been in a ring. But now you're looking at a guy that I would back against all the domestic heavyweights around the British title level in Britain, right? I said to him, after the Fraser Clark, Fabio Wardley fight, I phoned him, I said, you will beat them. Fabio's here tonight, Fraser's here, we're coming for them. He's coming for the British title, Copper Box, O2, Olympic Park, wherever it's gonna be. But I tell you something, I mean, look, a real credit to the sport, to himself, lovely young...
So there's Eddie Hearn, yeah, saying, oh, he's the best thing ever, he's knocking them all out, they're too big, too strong. Listen, I'm not hating, man, but I just didn't see that. I guess you can say, well, it's Eddie Hearn's job, man. Come on, it's your job to be somewhat realistic. That Babic fight he wasn't even a good finish. He's just thrashing left and right. White collar, like I said, yeah? He's a rugby player, a university rugby player, yeah, who started white collar boxing. That's what I see here. No cap. Yeah? Did a few rounds with Tyson Fury, picked up some things he doesn't really understand. He's like, yeah? And that's what it is about. He's a world level, undisputed prospect, Johnny Bosch. Come on, people. But now listen to Eddie's like, I don't know what I'm going to do with him now. I can't believe it. Wait a minute.
Yeah, it did, but Johnny was a little bit more defensive. I think sometimes you've got to try and keep Dave a little bit more honest and throws that big right hand.
When you
Fight tonight, I knew it was a very dangerous fight. That last fight takes a lot out of you mentally. Obviously, we've got the option for the trilogy now, but again, I think he's got to go and just get some time in the ring. He'll have a good break. But he was beaten by that there. I'm glad it was Dave Allen.
obviously
Moving forward, Dave's back with us at Matchroom, and that's...
So Eddie Hearn, I can't find the clip now. I need to find it because it's hilarious. He's like, I don't know what I'm going to do with him now. Oh, I didn't save it. Don't do that to me. Oh, that's bare annoying. Please don't do that to me. Oh, man, I got to find it. Speak for you, man. That's what we have to do. I thought it was IFL's one. I don't know what I'm going to do with him, he said. Maybe it was this one, actually. Maybe it was this one. Let's have a look quick.
Oscar Bevis.
Look what's next for him. You know, obviously we got the trilogy option. I don't think that's absolute. And he now comes with Jamie Moore and Nigel Travis at Matchroom, and we've got to look what's next for him. You know, obviously we got the trilogy option. I don't think that's absolutely anything anytime soon for Johnny Fisher. He's got to go back to the drawing board, and I'm proud of him for taking a rematch tonight. Maybe it wasn't the right thing to do, but you know, when you have a close fight like that, I think everybody wants you to run it back, and he wanted to give everybody what they wanted, which was number 2.
In many ways,
You know, Johnny is heavy-handed, but he didn't necessarily show that tonight. You know,
He's not heavy-handed. Seriously, he's not heavy-handed at all. This narrative that I don't see it. It's like it's blunt. It's not even blunt power. Golovkin has blunt power. Again, Johnny reminds me of a man who thinks he can punch. That's what it's like. He thinks that's what he thought in the first fight, and it turns out he couldn't punch at all. Yeah, that's what happened. He can't punch like you think he can. It's a bit like Hergovich. He can't really punch. It turns out now. I can punch. They can't punch. But bottom line, man, because Joe Joyce would have been. We know Joe Joyce's chops has been compromised. He'd have been out like a light. Zhang can punch. How about that? Zhang put every man down he's been in there with. That's a man who can punch.
And you got to get his respect early. He didn't seem the last fight was treacherous, you know. And there was areas, like I said, a bit of confidence about it.
does the British
Look,
champion.
Dave's a right hand man, is British. I don't think I'm really British title level. Jamie Moore and Nigel deserves it. He deserves it for sure.
I know was he
Making him use his energy. Gets caught with a silly right hand round the side, goes down, doesn't really recover, and then gets knocked out clean on the bell. You know, a mixture of not being good enough on the night, inexperience particularly. See, we got the trilogy option. I don't think that's
pissing me off, man. Where did I see this video, man? Where did I see it?
and say that, you know, Johnny Fisher's ducked the rematch and everyone's avoided him. And you know, when you train hard and you've got the confidence, which was like British title level, because when he fought Amo Williams T-Mobile on a Canelo card, and when he fought Sully Sissoko in front of 74,000 at Dallas Cowboys, it makes you a better fighter. That's actually the things that Johnny Fisher's lacking. Do you know what I mean? Those moments.
I'm going to have to find it, people. It's pissing me off. It's going to be on my history on here, probably. That's where it's going to be for sure. There's no doubt about it. Maybe it was this one.
Was anyone who's going to break the hearts of Johnny Fisher and his fans? I'm glad he stayed out, well deserved, and it's going to be interesting to see what's next. Do you think they'll look back in hindsight and regret taking a rematch actually? Because Alan said, you say, yeah, thank God we did the rematch, you know. His experience, you know, and that Alan who's been around in the amateurs who's fought, they get found out, and that's what happened to Johnny. So you've got to go back to the drawing board. Why would Lucas Brown like, would you say, for Dave? He said he would things. You know, which is actually, you know, you want him to actually say this, Ryan, do you want to gamble at that age in your career? But he seems to want to. Sometimes when you don't have that experience, Gets up. And now if there was anyone that was going to break the hearts of Johnny Fisher and his words to use, it's like, at the end of the day, it's a great atmosphere. I think the thing lacking was experience. Alan, who's been around in the amateurs, who's fought at the very found out, and that's what happened to Johnny tonight. And I'm very proud of him. I think he was very gutsy to take a rematch, and I think it was the right thing to do. But at the end of the day, as we always say, it wasn't good enough, and there's no shame in that. But you've got to go back to the drawing board. Why would Lucas Brown like, would you say, for Dave? He said Nick on top of it. I think it's bigger really because Lucas Brown was old. I know he was probably had a better resume than Johnny Fisher, but I think a lot of people felt that that Johnny Fisher would win tonight. I felt it was a very, very dangerous fight.
Just run down the rest of the card.
A little bit more defensive. I think sometimes he wasn't good enough tonight, and the experience that Dave Allen showed. And God knows what we're going to do with him next. I mean, obviously.
I found it, man. It was the IFL. Oh man, it kills me when people do this, man. I have to do a remix mashup. Why is he not doing that? And God knows what we're gonna do with him now. I thought you were taking over the world with him, Eddie. But what do you mean you don't know what you can do with him? You're taking over the world. Undisputed prospect. Bosh. Let's do the contrast now. Wait there. Let's do the contrast. So this is how much. It's not even that long ago. 10 months ago. 10 months ago. These are the bars from Eggy. Massa Hearns. Right. Let's listen to the bars one more time. Let's get this right because I'm wondering if I didn't hear that interview today correctly. But let's get this bit right here for a second. Just for a second.
Your verdict watching that from ringside, it was over in a heartbeat. What a way to win it for Johnny.
Do you know, I really expected him to do the job tonight and do it early. But I've said before after Las Vegas, this ain't a gimmick. This is a world-class heavyweight prospect. 12 fights, 12 wins, 11 knockouts.
No gimmicks, folks.
He's for real.
He's for real, proper hard.
Started as a 6-round ticket seller. You're talking about a young man that had 2 amateur fights. I think a couple of them were in the university. Might not even been in a ring. But now you're looking at a guy that I would back against all the domestic heavyweights around the British title level in Britain, right? I said to him, after the Fraser Clark, Fabio Wardley fight, I phoned him, I said, you will beat them. Fabio's here tonight, Fraser's here, we're coming for them. He's coming for the British title, Copper Box, O2, Olympic Park, wherever it's going to be. But I tell you something, I mean, look, a real credit.
You're getting it. You see, you Fabio Wardley and Fraser Softbones, you're getting it from Johnny Bosh. Okay, so that was 10 months ago. Let's see what Eggy's saying now, because he knew, right? He knew his world-level prospect, undisputed, Alexander Usyk. Oh, what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word when they say he's taking over? You get the point, yeah? The guy coming after Usyk, that's what Eggy Hearn said. Let's see what he's saying now, because I don't know what he said. Let's see what he said for a sec.
There's a huge amount of credit for taking the rematch, but he wasn't good enough tonight, and the experience of Dave Allen showed, and God knows what we're going to do with him next. I mean, obviously.
God. I thought you were going for Fabio Wardley. Come on, Massa Hearns, man. God knows what we can. That is true. Listen, Eggy's slimy, yeah, because he's now signed Dave Allen. Dave Allen's back on, which I'm happy for Dave. But Eggy, they ain't got no scruples, man. He doesn't really. Eggy don't. I think that's why they made it a small ring, because Eggy didn't really care. It was really more or less win for him, and Eggy probably thought that's why he made the ring small. He probably thought Dave is actually the better fighter, which is the truth. We can just inspire Dave. So I think Eggy was happy either way here. Whoever won, he had options on Dave Allen. So who really cares at this point? And I think Dave Allen, I don't know about the ticket situation, but at this point I won't be surprised. He in theory should have absorbed most of the Boshley, right? Most of the Boshley, he should have absorbed them now, because they weren't even necessarily hating against Dave anyway. That's absorbed. He's still got his cult following. Like, I think I'm part of his cult following, to be honest. So yeah, what was I going to talk about? Completely forgot now.
Good enough tonight, and the experience of Dave Allen showed, and God knows what we're going to do with him next. I mean, obviously
we're thinking about what we're going to do with Fisher next. Not the trilogy, but I'd respect Fisher if he took the trilogy straight up. And if I was Dave Allen said, I won't take it if it was offered. Listen, man. Listen, man, it's the fight game. I said this before. Dave Allen was saying the first thing after the first fight, but bro, you got to eat, man. If he wanted it, I don't think he will now, but he might. He's a man. To be fair to Fisher, he's a man. He did take the rematch. He might want the trilogy straight up. And if he offers it, if I was Dave, I'd take it. Because where else are you going? Unless you can get a Joe Joyce fight, for example, you're going to have to step down. Let's have a look at the British heavyweights, actually, quickly. Let's have a look at British... Oh, go away. Just for options. The only guy that comes to my mind, Box Rec, heavyweight rankings. Domestically, who is there? Who have we got? Fraser Clark, bit too sharp at this point. Why would you? And Fraser Clark don't sell tickets like Joe Joyce would, I assume, right? Joyce is a more winnable fight. Clark, I think. Listen. If Dave beats Joe Joyce, I can see Dave beating Clark as well, to be honest. But it's the step up. Clark's younger. He's got twitchy hands. Dave's going to struggle, and he can box. He can actually box. His chin's suspect. His cardio suspect, but he can box. Fisher can't box. I want to see Joe. Joyce is a winnable one. Slow, good gas tank, but slow as molasses. And his chin, we don't know what's left of it. I want to check though for Fisher as well. I don't know what's Fisher gonna do. What? They're gonna have to go on a bum of the month campaign again, which is like what? Oh, Obi, you're hating. You said he's white collar. That's what I've said to you. Yeah, you came to. I think Dave Allen's British level at this point. I think he could be a bit above that, to be honest. But call him British level for argument's sake. You got to British level, and you didn't only lose. You didn't lose on points. You got sparkled in an easy fight. That was easy for Dave, to be honest. Didn't give him no trouble. I can't sit there and say Fisher gave him any trouble at all. You got sparkled in round 5 in an era where knockouts don't really happen like that. You were sparkled in round 5, man. You're white collar. Seriously. Where else are you going to go? All them type of fights. Babik. At that point, Babik's a 175er. He's white collar as well, if we're honest. That's your level. You'll fit in well. Fisher will fit in well in white collar. That is his level. Oh, you're like, funny. No, I'm not laughing about it. That's the truth. He'll sell tickets. He'll make probably a good living for himself, fighting on the white collar circuit. That is the extent of his proficiency. Nothing to do with having a laugh. I'm not sitting here laughing at him, because he'll make more money than me on the white collar circuit. But still, that is your level, man. White collar. You're not doing... There's a reason I can't think of no names, right? If I could think of names for him to fight, I'd say, yeah, fight this guy. There's no one for him to fight, man. He's white collar. That's why. Okay. So, we got Fisher. Huey Fury? He's not going to... That'd be more likely to be Dave, but I wouldn't like that fight for Dave. Because Fury will stink the place out. Huey will stink the place out and maybe nick the fight on points. So I wouldn't even want to see that, to be honest. Huey's rubbish. I don't want to see Huey in there. Forget about Huey. Who else we got? I'm trying to think about both fighters now. Yeah, it's just random, man. There's no half decent names, that's for sure. Dave Allen's down here. I want to click Britain in particular. How do we find Britain? B, is it B or is it UK? It must be UK or some United Kingdom. Come on, bro. You'd like to think, what are they going to do? Dig up a bum for Fisher? He beat Babik, so that shows his white collar level. Are they going to really go back and dig up like a Safa Safiri or something? He might, you know what I mean? Is that what you're going to do? That's what you'd have to do. Unless you go onto the white collar circuit and just sell tickets. Solomon Dakarez. Could Johnny fight him? Nick Webb. I don't even know if these men are active. But yeah, there's just nothing, man. There's nothing on here, really. To be honest, people. It's almost like British boxing's a bit top heavy, to be fair. Dave Allen's got all the opportunity. There's loads of options for him. Fisher, he's going back to white collar people. That's the truth here. He's going back to white collar. And or he'll just fight random names and the Bosch army will follow him, which is possible. He might keep doing the copper box. And when you have a cult following, it doesn't really matter. They're not really paying for a world level product. So it could be the case Johnny Fisher just brings in people, sells out the copper box, and just knocks out a bum. But he'll have to do that forever. He'll never be able to get carried away. Oh, I can now knock everyone out. No, that's his level now. Fly in, Deliveroo, Uber, Just Eat, Every. Yeah, I've heard the man who drive Every are susceptible. DPD drivers. These are the type of ones Fisher needs now. Yeah, any of them kind of occupations. What else have we got? Not so much Royal Mail. Royal Mail's prestigious, so them man are more durable. They walk around. The Royal Mail drivers, they're not driving all day, smoking vapes. Royal Mail drivers, they're getting out, they're walking, they're doing laps, so they're quite fit, is the truth. You need the Everys. Yeah, coffee, vape, Bosch. You know what I mean? Driving around all day, your legs are stiff. That's what Fisher needs. Yeah? Royal Mail will be too strong, they walk all day. Bottom line, they'll be too fit for Fisher. So he can't fight Royal Mail delivery drivers. He has to fight the Everys, the DPDs, the Ubers, the Just Eats. Yeah? What else we got here? 100%. You see that one there? That's what he has to do. And I can't see none of them on... I mean, I don't know any... I ain't got a clue who any of these guys are on there, but... Tete, Bosch, we've sorted it. We've solved the equation, people. I think Tete might give him a run as well. I think Tete might give him a run, is the truth. That's the scary thing. But Fisher versus Tete will be a life and death. That's the top of his level. Fisher versus Tete is the best he can hope for at this point. And he'll have to be proper on it for that. Seriously. Because Tete's not a punk. He'll swing his hand around, right? That's probably where I think that's probably the move for Fisher now. Fisher versus Tete. Tete's got some relative clout given he's fought Dillian White. He's fought Fraser Clark. And obviously he's known as Purple Aki's brother as well. So he's got the Purple Aki clout, Dillian White and Fraser Clark. That's where Fisher goes next. Tete. Yeah? Anyway. How long have we been gassing for? It's been an hour already. Wow, people. Let's have a look at the chat quick. Let's see what I've got. Some quick thing here. More time. Big shout out to my art doggy Arthur DS1 for coming through and boosting up the coin. Wow, Eddie can't stop taking L's. That's his last English ticket seller gone. Yeah, crazy, man. He's been cursed. Turkey's cursed this guy. The gods, the boxing gods, are determined to send Eggy Hearns to pub games. That's what I'm here. I spoke to the gods last night. They told me this guy's going to pub games, man. It won't be long now. He's going to pub games. My doggy Uncle Lenzo said he will be in Misfits. Yeah, that's where he's going, man. That's a good shout. That's what I said, man. He's a Misfits fighter. I see Misfit skills. Dudes who've just picked boxing up. They used to be YouTubers / rugby players, and they're having a little look. Nothing against it. Oh, YB, you're not doing that. Fair play to them. That's your level, though, right? Whether I'm doing it or not, it's nonetheless the truth that you're a rugby player, man. You got rugby player type skills in there. You can't box with Toffee, man. Tommy Fury. Oh, I've solved it. I've solved it for Johnny Bosch. I've solved it for Tommy Bosch. We know Tommy's come up to heavyweight now. Tommy versus Johnny Bosch. That is, again, that would be an intriguing fight, to be fair. On Misfits headliner. And or Copper Bosch headliner. I'd like to think Fisher could... I mean, that would be... Honestly, I wouldn't know. Who would you back to win that fight? Tommy versus Fisher? Who would you back? Oops. It's 50-50, man. Could go either way. I'm not even going to lie about it. I'd put... Well, I don't know. Tommy's not small. He's not small. He'd be small in terms of weight. Tommy would never take it. He's a punk. But in reality, if they got in the ring, I wouldn't put my life on Johnny Fisher, would you? I'd probably lean towards Fisher, but who knows how he's going to be. His chin's shot now. That'll be a good money fight for Johnny, if he can get it done. What happened? Psyop said, what happened to your sources? Dave taking a dive. Hey, listen, man. Let me tell you something right now. Listen. I used reverse psychology on Dave. Yeah, that's what I did. Because that was going to be a dive. And there's a reason it made sense. Bottom line. Yeah? There's a reason it made sense. Who here would have been shocked? And if you weren't shocked, yeah, show me your betting slip where you put the bag on Dave. Show me someone putting the bag on Dave. Who thought, you know what, I'm all in on Dave. You can't trust this guy. Even after the fight, he said, yeah, You know, it was too easy and I knew I'd win. In fact, I'll get it up now. Right, quick for you, man. That's what I'll do right now. This is what you can't trust him. It's funny in that. It's all good in that until it ain't with Dave. Where is it? I think this is it here. Maybe.
Your thoughts and your feelings are at the moment?
Yeah, I'm happy it was good. It went how I expected it to go, really. I didn't think I was going to go that early. Joe, I felt a bit slow and sluggish in there. I probably did way into heavy, but I soaked his shots. Well, some good body shots, but I soaked them up.
You hear that? I felt slow and sluggish in there. One more time.
Really. Joe, I felt a bit slow and sluggish in there. I probably did way into heavy, but
I probably weighed in too heavy. Yeah, I felt slow and sluggish. So you can. It's all like after the event. It's like, yeah, well, you were wrong, and yeah, well, we all knew. It worked out. It's like, I said this before the fight. I said, Dave's got a lucky chance. And his luck came in tonight. He wasn't prepared. He doesn't even tell you, yeah, I was fully prepared. And it was like, well, I was a bit heavy and I was a bit... This is normally... And think about it. If Dave had lost, just because he won, a win covers up. It's a bit like Fisher versus Babbitt. A win covers up all the holes. Everyone, oh, well, it was great. It actually wasn't that great. Just thrashing around. Dave Allen, same here. If Dave Allen had lost, he'd have been saying the same thing. It's only because he won that people, for some reason, oh, well, it don't matter. Well, it does matter. Because next time, you might not be so lucky. Next time, you might not have a big, stiff rugby player in front of you. I was slow and sluggish. I put too much weight on. Why would you do that for?
I soaked his shots. Well, some good body shots, but I soaked them up and then, but this time I was fitter, and you know what, we've been working on certain little things like throw combinations, certain combinations on the pads with J&Is, and it all paid off, so I'm happy really.
Was there anything that surprised you in there? You know, it seemed like...
It was a lot easier.
Yeah, because it seemed like it went sort of similar to the first fight. And
it was too easy,
yeah.
Too easy, yeah, I thought it was really easy. I don't like an excuse that I've trained fucking hours and anything, but I didn't die. I was feeling the pace a little bit to me.
Yeah.
But
He said he trained hard, but I was feeling the pace a bit, to be honest. Here we go.
Excuse me, I've trained fucking hours and anything, but I didn't die. I was feeling the pace a little bit to me.
Yeah.
But I knew I'd get to it.
He said I trained hard, but I was feeling the pace, to be honest. I didn't diet. Again, his argument is luck here. He got lucky tonight. You're not always going to get lucky. You're not always going to get a big, stiff, idiot rugby player in there. And the trend with Dave is, he got lucky this time. Well done to him. I'm happy he won. But you just don't get that. It's not. You don't want to be relying on the other guy being rubbish. What happens if someone comes in and they're having their best night ever? You need to be prepared for that. You can't be feeling sluggish in round 4 in a 10 or 12 round fight. You can't be feeling a bit heavy. You can't be feeling a bit, I was hanging. What did he say again? Was it hanging or something?
I don't like an excuse that I've trained fucking hours and anything, but I didn't die. I was feeling the pace a little bit to me.
Yeah.
I was feeling the pace a little bit, to be honest. 4 rounds in, people. Yeah? 8 pounds heavier, 4 rounds in, he's goosed. I'm happy for him in 1, seriously. Even though I lost money, I'm actually happy he won. In that fashion. But he's got to tighten up, man. You got to tighten up, bro. But I hope he does. But at the same time, the trend is, he says here, oh, it was just too easy. I knew it'd be easy. Imagine what he's thinking now about fighting people. He's got a headline KO, and now same with Lucas Brown fight. That was too easy. I knew I could do it. He does it, and then it's like, Dave Price. I didn't train. I just thought, and this isn't just Dave Allen. There's actually a phenomenon within heavyweight boxing where Mike Tyson, different levels but same principle. Mike Tyson started believing his own hype. Starting believing he could just go in there, not train, got knocked down by his sparring partner in the Japan fight before Buster Douglas. I'm good enough. I'll just go in there and bosh. And that's Mike Tyson, who has elite genetics and whatever else, and has really done it. Dave's at a smaller level but with the same mentality. The success, unlike Usyk gets success and he wants more and he wants to get better even from that. He wants to see how far he can go. Dave Allen gets success, Mike Tyson gets success, and it's like, let me see how little I can do. And/or I've just got it. I know I've got it. I know it will be too easy. And it's too easy until it ain't. Look at Buster Douglas, 30-1 underdog. Things are too easy until they're not. Why take that risk for? This is a short career. You haven't got to grind a 9 to 5 for the next 40 years like the rest of us. So just do this, man. Do 2 hours, an hour or 2 a day. every day until your next fight. It's not hard, man. I can't believe there's not enough. I can't believe you can't find an hour or two a day to do something, man. I'll never believe that. Yeah. So I think he needs a big fight straight up next. Keep him hot, is my advice. Don't let this guy get off the boil, if he's on the boil at all. No more bum fights for him. He's had a bunch of them already. My doggy said, Law Hammer Library said, funny channel, mate. Rate Dave Allen style. I swear his chin/toughness is genetic. Freak level 2. Yeah, man. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. I see his model. Caballero doesn't really have the head movement. But Dave Allen is like a lower level Canelo. There's elements there. His shots are a bit more loopy. If he shortened up his left hook a bit, and shortened up most of his shots, he can still keep the overhand, but most of it, they're not as short. That KO shot when he knocks Johnny out, his elbow's in tight. That's how Canelo hooks and Mike Tyson hooks. Dave he kind of drops his hands when he's uppercut into the body. He drops his hands and he kind of slaps them in. But if he tightens things up a bit, believing in himself as well. Look at Canelo. Canelo used to be a bit more of a boxer, really. He's more of a boxer. And then he fought Golovkin. Even the first fight, Canelo was boxing with Golovkin. The second fight, Canelo decided this guy's not all that, and he started standing with him. And since then, it was the confidence of the success in the Golovkin 2 fight which made him to believe, I can just literally stand here and walk any man down. And that confidence led to Canelo's best part of his career. He wasn't as phenomenal as he was in that period at 168 when he's stopping everyone. Yeah? That was his peak. Walking people down from the confidence of it. Dave needs to do the same, man. Have that confidence. Come in here, bit of head movement, double jab, bosh. Too heavy-handed. I don't think Dave is a massive puncher pound for pound, but you just don't know, really. He's never really committed himself. There's something there, though. Something there. If I was Dave Allen, I'd be watching Canelo all day and night. That's the style. He's not going to be Tyson Fury, and why would you want to be? He can't punch. He's not scary. And in this day and age, when you've got a bunch of fannies in the game, yeah, people are scared. People are scared to death of someone walking them down and not respecting what they're doing. Caballero. Look at Caballero. Oops. Joe Parker stunk the place out, faffing around boxing with Zhang. Stinky. Caballero. Stopped dude in 6 rounds, people. No one's ever stopped Zhang. Chopped his body up. These new age man, they either aren't conditioned and or scared to death to get touched. Frank soft body Sanchez got walked through like a hot knife through butter, man. That's where the premium is today. People don't want to fight today. If you can come in there with some skills and want to fight and hands up and walk them down, it's going to take someone like a Usyk to make you look silly. Yeah? That's what it'll take. A top level dude. Most men are going to crumble at some point. Most men are going to get tired and they're going to crumble and their mind's going to break down. That's what's going to happen. And Dave's got it there, man. It's there for you, bro. The blueprint's there. Caballero, Canelo, it's there, man. You just got to jump on it and really commit and say, you know what, I'm coming down. I think Dave should be 245, 247. About around 10 pounds below his first fight. And that wouldn't even be... I'm being conservative here. 245, I think, will be a good aiming point for him. Really lock in. 245 is 5 pounds heavier than AJ. Okay. When AJ fought Usyk. Bottom line. So he's not going to be stick and bone. He's not going to be starving to death at that weight. And I think the ceiling on him is unknown. I don't see a reason, like I said, I don't see a reason he couldn't beat Fabio Wardley, to be honest, in the right circumstances. On it. I wouldn't say, yeah, he's going to get his back smoked out. I wouldn't say it. He's got a good chin so far. Wardley couldn't knock out Fraser Clark in the first fight. Oops. Bottom line. Anyway. I'm out of here, people. Big up for everyone who came through. Smash the like button on your way out. And I'll catch you, man, on the flip. Bosh. Is it Bosh? It's Bosh now, for sure.